Hi guys, I hope you're doing really well today and you're practicing radical self-care. I hope you're getting outside, getting exercise, drinking a ton of water, staying away from addictive substances, not rushing into new romantic relationships, take a break, do some healing, get some, heal your trauma so you don't take that baggage into the next relationship. I hope that you are surrounding yourself with people that are kind, that are empathetic, that are authentic, that are emotionally available. I hope that you have good networks of friends and family to surround you with healthy community. 12-step recovery, very helpful if you think that you might be dealing with a substance use disorder or you're drinking or drugging more than you probably should be. Those are some programs that can help you. If you struggle with codependence, I highly recommend Codependence Anonymous. It's a 12-step recovery program for codependence. There's also a program called Adult Children of Alcoholics. It's also applicable even if your parent wasn't an alcoholic. If you had a narcissistic or abusive parent, it can be adult children of from dysfunctional families. That's a really good 12-step recovery program. So I hope that you are doing all sorts of work to holistically take care of yourself. Oh, including trauma therapy is huge. EMDR, TMS, cognitive behavioral, lots of different forms of trauma therapy, specifically to treat complex post-traumatic stress syndrome, which you might have some of those symptoms or you might have full-blown, CPTSD. So what I want to talk about in this video is the importance of providing your own closure, right? And so it can be really, really difficult when you get out of these relationships or you're trying to get out of them. You might hold on to hope, and hope can actually be a pretty dangerous thing if you're in a toxic relationship, right? Because if you have the hope that they're going to change, all of a sudden, this person who has not been communicating with authenticity or honesty for a very long time, if you think all of a sudden they're going to start being honest and authentic and vulnerable, they're probably not. It's very unlikely without them doing incredible amounts of their own therapy and therapeutic work. So if you're expecting them to change and all of a sudden become an honest person, an authentic person, a person that's going to own their part and be self-reflective, then that can be a real problem for you. You need to accept people where they're at. And if this person has demonstrated that they're passive aggressive, that they don't communicate with authenticity, and that they're deceptive and manipulative, then they're probably not going to change on a dime, and they're not going to change for you. And it has nothing to do with you other than you found yourself in this relationship. And there are a lot of different reasons that might be true, right? But so this is stop holding on to hope that this person is going to change, especially if you've been with them for quite some time and they're behaving in the same ways they've always behaved. Unless they have some epiphany, some spiritual awakening, some jarring thing that happens in their life where they go seek therapy and God and spirituality or whatever their higher power to help heal them. So I don't think that you should be holding out for that, having that expectation of change. So hope that they're going to change can be a very dangerous thing. Another thing I wanted to mention is talk about closure. It is really, really difficult to get closure in these relationships, mostly because the narcissist doesn't want to provide closure. They like to keep their exes as friends, right? So really what that often means is they like to keep a string attached to that person, but know that they also have strings attached to all the other people. Is whoever will let them keep their tentacles in them, then they will, because they want to know that they can go back in for supply. And this can even be somebody that you met lightly on internet dating, where they just want to hit you up every once in a while just to get you to feed them. Like, hey, what's up? And then so you'll respond and say, oh, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So they just want to know that you're there. They like to have a large harem of people that are there to supply them with, supply essentially. So, often, and normal people can also keep their friends as exes, and they're really, actual friends, right? That is also possible, right? But narcissists tend to do it for, different reasons. They do it because they want to know that there's, that they might be able to go back in and get more supply from you, whether that means if their current relationship doesn't work out, they can come back to you, or whether that means that they just know that you're there for sort of emotional food for them, right? Because they like to feed on other people's emotions. So in terms of closure, like, dear God, you have to provide your own closure. And this is really tough, but you have to do it. You are never going to get an honest explanation from a narcissist. You are never going to get them to all of a sudden self-reflect and go, you know what? I do realize this was my part. I have been manipulating you, and I'm so sorry. I've been operating in I've been gaslighting you. I've been trying to make you question your own reality, your own sanity. I've been lying to you and telling you that, I'm not cheating when I really was cheating. Or I've been lying to you and making you think you're crazy. You're the one with the problem. I've been putting that all on you, and I was wrong to do that. I all of a sudden am self-reflective, and now I know the error of my ways, and I'm going to change. That is very rare for that to happen. A lot of psychologists believe that they cannot ever do that. I believe that there's a spiritual component. I believe that people can change. I believe that therapy can do a lot of work if people are willing to change, but you will never make them change. You're never going to get them to change. They have to want it themselves. And usually that's going to take some major issue that happens in their life for them to finally seek some help. And it's very rare. And a lot of narcissists are going to go their whole lives and they're never going to become self-aware. They're never going to take any personal responsibility. They're never going to own their part, right? So you holding out for them to take personal responsibility, self-reflect, become self-aware, and own their part is, wow, that is some kind of hope that you do not want to be holding on to. You need to let that go. Like this idea that all of a sudden they're going to change and own their part. I think it's really important for you to know that they're not going to. And so accept that you need to provide your own closure. How do you do that? Well, no contact. I'm gonna use the analogy of breaking alcohol addiction. With alcohol addiction, which I broke almost 15 years ago, it was abstinence. That's the answer, abstinence. It's not a little bit. It's not, you can have one glass of wine. If you're an alcoholic, if you have a substance use disorder, you can't have one glass of wine, right? So it's just the same with the narcissist. It is like an addiction that you're breaking. And no contact is vital. So you're not drinking that wine leading to, 4 bottles later or whatever, or hitting the tequila. So look at it that way. Like you're breaking an addiction, and no contact is the analogy to abstinence. So that's really important. And when I mean no contact is you shouldn't be getting incoming text messages from a narcissist or emails because you have blocked them. And if you see an email, you don't read it, right? So no contact is not just that you don't reach out, it's that you also do not get any stimuli from them. And no contact with their flying monkeys. Like I can honestly tell you, I have literally no idea what's going on with the long-term relationship with the narcissist, or the person I think was a narcissist, maybe a sociopath. I have no idea what's going on in their life. I don't know if they're remarried. I don't know if they have 2 kids, or I literally have no idea. I have no clue. And that's because I have completely cut off all contact with that person, with all that person's flying monkeys, the mutual friends that we have. Most of them are not friends with him anymore because they made their own choice, because they knew that there was massive gaslighting, duplicity going on there. Or the ones that are still in contact, I've set a boundary and said, I don't want to hear anything about that person. So I literally have no idea what's going on in that person's life. I don't even know if that person is alive or dead. I mean, just telling you the truth, I have no idea. So that's been really helpful for me. And that's been for years, ever since the divorce, really. So even before the divorce, I had very limited information, but for sure, no contact is key. And you've got to provide your own closure. I am coming up on 10 minutes, so I'm going to end this video because I keep them under 10 minutes. And then I think I will do a second video on the importance of you providing your own closure and some other tips and strategies and how to do that. So no contact, again, is vital. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Talk soon. Bye.